Hi, Susan Clare, GourmetQuilter here. I just thought I'd pop in and show you a little bit of fun that I've been having. I've been having some role play fun. Now there's lots of things that role play is associated with, but today we are working with rolls of batting. Now there's some fun to be had. So this is a using it up. We're having a bit of a using up year this year, and I've just been saving some of my trimmings from quilts when I've been quilting quilts. Sometimes when we've finished quilting a quilt and we trim off all the edges, there's narrow strips left, or perhaps there's just narrow strips because we've been making other things and there's little bits and pieces left over. So I've been saving all my little rolls. Some of them are not very big at all, some of them are just little pieces, and I thought, oh, there's got to be something I can do with those. And I've thought of a few things, but today we're doing a little bit of role play. So they vary in length, in width, in type of batting, all sorts of things. So I've also, as well as my rolls of batting, got a nice bucket here of leftovers. This is out of my leftovers pantry. Well, they haven't quite got into the pantry really. These are just waiting to be sorted. But in the meantime, I thought with my rolls of batting and my little leftovers that we would have some fun. So in amongst my leftovers, I found all these little strips here. Now these are strips that are selvage strips of they're batiks, I think, these ones, and it's just the colours. I love the colours, so I couldn't resist just hanging on to them just in case. You know, we keep a lot of things just in case, but this time it was worth it. So I thought on one of my little rolls of batting I would use up some of these strips. So this is just a narrow roll of batting, and I've sewn straight through, and all I've done is gone along and I've stitched and flipped. So you lay it on and you flip it over so that the seams are all enclosed on that, and then I have actually trimmed that roll to be an even size. But when I sewed the strips on, they were longer, so they went longer, and I've trimmed them off, or perhaps I did it that way and I've saved those bits there. But either way, they were longer than the batting roll was wide, and I think that's a very usable strip of something for something, and I'm sure it'll come in handy for something soon. We'll have a look at that one another time. Today I thought we'd have a look at a different roll that I'm going to be playing with. So this is the roll that I'm going to play with today. I've already started it, and as I unroll it you can see that we're just getting down to the batting. We started with the fun stuff and now we're down to the batting. So this is not an even strip of batting. It's got a bit of a rough edge, although it's not badly rough. Sometimes they're a bit rougher than that. So I just thought I'd show you how I'm playing with that. I'm working straight onto batting. There's no backing. I've got raw edges everywhere. I'm not fusing, although you could fuse. You could turn your edges like I did with this one. You could do stitch and flip. But if you don't do the stitch and flip, you can do all sorts of different shapes and things by just overlaying them. So I've already started. I like to do free motion stitching, but that's probably a personal preference. You probably don't have to. Certainly this was not done with free motion. I would have just stitched straight lines across on that one. I like the free motion because it allows me to just maneuver, and it also allows me to play, do a little bit of quilting if I choose to. And so what I've got here is just an oddment of all sorts of little leftovers and pieces. Some of them are these half square triangles that when I'm making other larger things and I trim off the corners, I've kept a lot of those, and they could even go on here as well. So where I've got a selvage, I can just let that overlap the edge because we can trim all that off afterwards. And I just thought it would be fun to have a little play on this roll. And why wouldn't we do that? So I would just go ahead and lay some bits and pieces on. So you want to give yourself enough overlap, probably about 1/4 of an inch or so at least. It can be more, so that when you sew near the edge it's well and truly going to cover over. And I might do something like that. There's never any real knowing what I'm going to do next. Might like a nice piece of soft green coming in there, and it can come down and overlap like that. So I probably would maybe just do about that much. I may or may not put pins in. I probably wouldn't because I don't like pins because they attack me. And so having laid all those on, now you might have some bits that you really rather put on at an angle. That's all fine. They can go in any direction you like. And today I'm just going to show you on that there because you can see that I've done some angles here, and I'm going to go to the sewing machine and just show you how I would stitch those. So I'm going to go ahead. I've got my pieces laid on here. I've put my free motion foot on there, And I'm just going to come down and secure these in place. So I'm just coming down close to that edge, and I'm going to go on to the next one. Sometimes it wants to catch under the foot. So I'm fairly close to that edge. Now if you don't like raw edges, that's fine. You could do something different. You could do a zigzag stitch. You could do a decorative stitch on your sewing machine. Lots of us have decorative stitches on our machines that we don't use. And I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to keep coming back up here. And come all the way back up. So at the moment all I'm really doing is securing the fabrics. So now that I've secured these bits, I can actually now play on those. So because I'm free motioning, I can just wiggle around. It's a great way to practice little things. If you don't want to wiggle, you might want to just do straight lines, in which case you can just do straight lines. So if you don't want to do free motion, you don't have to. So I am quilting it fairly closely because that helps hold everything in place. You might want to just try something different and go back the other way. You might want to just do a little twiddle in there. I think you've got the hang of what I'm doing now. So I think you can see here where I've been adding these little bits. As I said, you don't have to do free motion like I have. I'm stitching straight onto the batting only. I do need to do a little bit more stitching in here, but I just wanted to show you how much fun you can have making something out of nothing. A lot of us wouldn't keep a lot of these little small pieces, and I possibly shouldn't because I have a whole lot of them. There's a whole lot more lurking around the place. But I also know that there's ways of using it up, and to use the batting, using the leftover fabrics, just seems like a great idea, and I'm sure there's going to be lots of things that I can come back and show you that we could make using these pieces. So have some fun with your role play. If you've got some little pieces of batting, if it appeals to you to have a play, then play to your heart's content. Use up some leftover threads, use your leftover fabrics, leftover batting. What more could we want? Leftovers are so delicious. So having said how delicious things are, don't forget, this is role play. I will see you again with some more role play ideas in a little while. So thank you.